Imagine stealing a piece of bread and being punished by exile to the other side of the world. Imagine being 8 years old. You are hungry. You steal a piece of bread. And the punishment is being sent to the other side of the world. This is not fiction. This is British history. Between the 18th and 19th centuries, Britain faced a crisis so severe that the government chose a shocking solution to remove the poor from society entirely, and Australia became the destination. In the late 1700s, Britain was changing fast. The Industrial Revolution promised progress, but for millions, it delivered misery. Factories replaced farms, villages emptied, cities overflowed, jobs were scarce. Food was expensive, and poverty spread into every corner of society. Families lived in overcrowded slums. Children worked long hours. Hunger was constant. For the poor, survival often meant breaking the law. Most crimes were not violent. They were desperate, stealing bread, taking cloth, snatching food from markets. Yet the law showed no mercy. Stealing goods worth more than 1 shilling, just a few pennies today, was considered a serious crime. A crime worthy of transportation. Not prison, not rehabilitation. Exile. The ruling class feared one thing more than crime. There was a belief that poverty was contagious, that the poor would overwhelm the wealthy. That society would collapse, so the government formed an unspoken plan. Remove the poor, remove the criminals, remove the problem. Transportation became social cleansing. Britain's prisons were bursting. There was no space left, so the government turned ships into floating prisons. Old rotting vessels were anchored on rivers like the River Medway. Men, women, and children were locked inside. Disease spread quickly. Death was common. Some prisoners waited years, not knowing when or if they would be sent away. Even children were not spared. Unaccompanied boys and girls, as young as 8, were condemned to exile. For many, transportation was a fate worse than death. There is a recorded case of a prisoner given a choice: be sent to Australia or be hanged. The prisoner chose execution. That decision alone tells us everything about how terrifying Australia seemed. Originally, Britain sent convicts to America, but after the American War of Independence, that option vanished. Britain needed a new destination. Australia was distant, unknown, and completely under British control. In 1788, the solution arrived. The first fleet sailed from Portsmouth with 11 ships. More than 700 convicts, an 8-month journey into the unknown. The voyage was brutal. Starvation, disease, death at sea. Those who survived arrived at Botany Bay, and later Sydney Cove, where Britain's first penal colony was born. But Australia was not empty. Indigenous communities had lived there for tens of thousands of years. Conflict between settlers and First Nations people was horrific. In Tasmania, entire indigenous populations were hunted down, killed, erased. This violence became one of the darkest chapters in colonial history. Not all convicts were broken by exile. Some adapted, some thrived. One such man was Darcy Wentworth. Accused of robbery, he avoided conviction but still chose to travel to Australia. There, he became a surgeon, a police superintendent, and a founder of the Bank of New South Wales. Australia did not only punish, it transformed. Between 1788 and 1868, more than 162,000 British and Irish convicts were transported. Eventually, the system ended. But the Demigand, the Legacy Remand, Australia's foundations were built on exile. Britain's solution was built on fear. This was not just punishment. It was population control. Social engineering and survival at a terrible cost. A reminder that history's progress often hides human suffering. And sometimes, an entire nation begins as a prison. Fade out.